Hi, I'm here at the Embroid in Herndon, and I'm talking to Mr. Packard, the owner. So you and your wife have owned the shop for 9 years, and you've recently celebrated the anniversary of the opening. So can you just tell me a little bit about how the shop has evolved over the years and what you've done in the community?
Well, it was about 10 years ago, my wife and I were thinking we wanted to be in a business together, and so we started looking at ideas, and she had worked with the PTA and schools and had purchased promotional products and logo wear that way, and she thought that might be a good business, so we took a look at it, found the Embroid franchise, and one thing led to another, and 9 years ago this month we opened up this location.
So are you involved with schools and sports teams and local businesses making t-shirts and jackets for them?
We do quite a bit of work with the schools in the area. The largest part of our business really is with corporations and businesses around the Herndon Reston area in Northern Virginia, but we work a lot with booster clubs and some sports teams with the various schools in the area.
Okay, and so I hear you have different methods of t-shirt printing, embroidering. Can you just give us a little overview of those?
Sure. Most people think of us for our embroidery, and we do a really good job at that, but we also have some various printing methods that we'll use. One of the best printing methods that's available today is digital printing, and we use what we call direct-to-garment printing, and it's the ability to print a multitude of colors all in the same print. It gives us some flexibility, reduces the cost. We do traditional screen printing as well. We also use heat application printing for various things. And we have a new technology which is our laser technology, and we're able to do such things as etch or burn logos into apparel, as well as to be able to cut materials out for applique designs that we use.
Okay, and how long would you say the average is for this process to take?
Well, depending on the size of the logo, small average logo, if you're embroidering, you're looking at maybe about 7,000 stitches, and you can probably run 50 pieces in a day to do that. If you look at some of the larger logos, if you look at something like a 20,000 logo, which would be the size of maybe a 3-inch circle on your chest, that would probably take, you'd be able to sew out maybe 25 of those, or half the time, or twice as long to take to sew that out. So we price our materials based on the time it takes to sew it out, and of course the cost that it takes us to get and acquire the materials.
And embroidering is your most popular method?
Embroidery is. Most people like the embroidery. It's very professional looking. Corporate America is now casual wear, and a lot of businesses will get their logo imprinted on their shirts and jackets and hats.
Yeah, okay. So that should be good.
Like to go check out the machines?
Yeah.
Sure.
Let's go look at the machines.
All right.
So right now we're here where the embroidery happens in front of the machines. So do you want to just walk us through those?
Yeah, well, once our design has been developed, we bring it over here, we just pull it into the computer, and everything's computer generated now. And so we pick our design, we have to tell the system what color to what needle, and then we have to make sure that the proper colors are on there. We can have 12 colors at a time, but we can mix and match the colors as the design goes through, and it will go down. We can do 4 pieces at a time, and the design will switch back and forth the colors just depending on how it was made. The quality of the design makes a big difference on how it will sew out. You really want a good, tight quality in your design, so that makes the process very easy and smooth. Some of the things that we've done locally here, we are big fans of Friday Night Live. We've done some embroidery for them. They have some special logo wear with that group. We've also worked with the Chamber of Commerce and here locally, and of course hundreds of business in and around the Dulles Reston area.
And when you started, did you always have these 4 machines, or have you expanded those?
These are the machines that we started with. They're considered old in the industry now, but they're big workhorses. Brother is one of the well-known names in the industry, but there's much more advanced and much more quieter machines. And probably one day I'll be getting one of those.
All right, and so this is the direct-to-garment printer. This is a digital printer. Instead of embroidering, is it more cost-effective this way?
If you're doing t-shirts, for instance, it's very cost-effective. Typically you want to print rather than embroider. And you can print lots of them inexpensively as opposed to embroidery.
It's faster too, I assume?
Much faster than embroidery.
All right, so do you want to show us how this works?
Sure. A lot of times companies will come to us and we'll either design their logo or they'll bring us their logo, and what they want is some t-shirts printed. You can traditionally do it screen printing, which is one color at a time is the way it's made, but we can take any photograph, any picture, any artwork and go ahead and print it. So for instance, if I wanted to print Herndon Live, or I wanted to print a picture of this logo here, all I'd have to do is lay it out. I can change the letters and the words and anything I wanted to. I can add letters and words, just put anything you can do on your typical Photoshop. But for instance, if I wanted to print this picture here, Herndon Live, I drop it in my picture onto the program, and let's say I wanted to take a full chest, full front of a shirt. I pretend that this is my t-shirt. I enlarge the picture the size I want it to, set it where I'm going to do in the middle of the shirt, and then I come over and hit print, and it sends it to my printer just like it would at your desktop. And then I come over to the printer, we put the t-shirt on the platen, the print's downloaded, and we hit print. And what it will do is go ahead and print it just like your laser on your desktop. And the nice thing about the direct-to-garment is that this print is eco-friendly, it's water-soluble, and once you put it on the shirt, it's actually dyed into the garment of the shirt, so there's no feel to it. And you can wash it, and it won't come out, and it outlasts the shirt. And we have to heat it after we print it so that it cures the ink and so that it will stay in the fabric. And that'll take 30 seconds to cure it. Once it comes off the printer, it's done, and you can go right to wearing it. We cure it for 30 seconds. Once that's done, it's completely dry. And as they say, hot off the press, you have a new t-shirt. This is our laser system, and it does a few things for us. We can literally burn or etch logos into apparel. Typically, we would look at polyester or fleece type products. We can also use polo shirts. It's very popular, and what it does is it literally burns off the top layer of a fabric so that you get a tone-on-tone look to your logo. As an example, we can show you what it would look like afterwards. Once we take a design and we have a lot of flexibility of where we put it on the garment, we can literally put it across zippers, across buttons, we can put it at any angle we want, down sleeves, and literally again it just burns the etching right into the fabric. And as an example, I'll show you how that works. Once we put up our design, we put it into the computer system, and then we take whether it's a shirt, a blanket, a jacket, it doesn't matter. In this case I'm using a scarf. We simply lay out the scarf onto the table, and the computer is giving us an outline of where that design is going to be cut into. And all I do is once it's laid out and I give it the proper settings on how hot to burn and how fast to burn, it will literally etch that logo into the fabric. And the process begins here. We also use the laser to do applique, which is more or less taking the fabric and sewing on your design onto the fabric and then letting the laser cut around the fabric. A couple designs we have would be something like this, has multiple layers of fabric, and we simply took a layer of red fabric, sewed it on, put it on the laser, let the laser cut it out, took some tan fabric, laid it on, the embroidery machine sewed it up the line, put it on back on the laser, and it cut it out. And we just went through that process. We did the same thing for a jacket. We split it between the zipper so that we had Herndon on one side and split down the middle. And this again, we laid down the white fabric first, cut out the edge, or actually we laid both fabrics out at the same time, sewed it, and then cut one fabric and then cut the other fabric, all using the laser.
And at Embroid, there's more than just t-shirts and jackets. They also happen to make hats, sunglasses, water bottles, various merchandise for companies. So do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Sure. We consider ourselves the promotional marketing partner for a lot of businesses, and a lot of times that involves promotions and marketing and sales. And we like to use tools to help us along, and each tool has a purpose. And whether it's a giveaway or it's designed to bring people into your business or to promote an event, they all have useful. And it's been shown that when promotional items are used, that 80% of the people who receive them will remember the organization who gave them that promotional item. We use lots of promotional items here. There's everything from pens, mugs, stress balls are great. You can't go into an office in America, I don't think, and not find some stress balls. One of my favorites, though, is the gift card, the music gift cards. People love receiving these, especially in thank you cards. They simply just have an amount that the business would put on there. You give these away as a promotion. It enforces your name, and it allows them to download music at their own leisure and whatever kind that they want. And that in itself will help remember their name.
And is all this made here?
We don't make the products here. We put together the artwork, the specifications, we send it to the supplier will put it back together and then send it back to us.
Okay, yeah. So you just send in an order for, say, a water bottle to the company, and you just put together the specifications and design, and they'd send you this back?
That's exactly. And we put together whatever the product specifications are going to be, the logo design, the size, the colors, and any detail that would be important to the customer. We like to have proofs to make sure that everything's going on track, and then hopefully we meet our deadlines.
All right. And so I also understand that your company kind of does some charity events. You give away free embroidery for people that donate jackets.
We do in the wintertime. We work with Cornerstones, formerly Reston Interfaith, with their coat drive, and in the fall, winter, especially December, we give away embroidery for Christmas stockings that people will bring in and donate to the coat drive. We also are active in the Rotary and many of the community events that happen in the town of Herndon. We like to support organizations whenever we can, whether it's through products, donations, or time spent volunteering.
Yeah, all right. Well, thank you for talking to us today.
Thanks. It was great to meet you.
Yeah.
Thank you.